good afternoon from the Magic Kingdom parking lot. We are headed in today because kind of a lot of updates around Magic Kingdom for us to look at. There's some new paint in a few places. We've got the Polynesian Island Tower that we're gonna go over and have a look at through the monorail. We've got possibly some updates on Tiana. Maybe we'll see a testing today. And then there's a few other things around a Country Bears update. Lots of stuff to talk about as we head into Magic Kingdom today. So, also a little bit of new merch too. So let's head inside and have a look around and see what we see at the Magic Kingdom today. So normally I would take the ferry boat because I like boats, or the express monorail because that would take me straight to Magic Kingdom. But today I'm taking the resort monorail because I want to have a look at the Island Tower, which is the new DVC tower that they're building over at the Polynesian. So this may be a fun fact for you all, but the resort hotel monorail not only goes to the resorts, but also goes to Magic Kingdom. It does make a stop at Magic Kingdom. So you don't have to take the express monorail. There are some occasions that the resort monorail might be faster, but it should be noted that the express monorail will go straight to Magic Kingdom that way. We're actually going to be heading backwards towards the Polynesian first, and then a stop at the Grand Floridian, then a stop at the Magic Kingdom, and then it'll eventually go on to Contemporary, but we are getting off at the Magic Kingdom. So as we start to get closer to the Island Tower, I did want to mention they announced they will have rooms in this tower that can accommodate as few as 2 people, as many as 9 people. We've also, from looking at permits, our friends over at Blog Mickey have been looking at a lot of permits for the Polynesian Tower, and they found that they are going to redo the main entrance for the drive coming into the Polynesian. Not this, main entrance to the Polynesian Grand Ceremonial House, but the main driveway into the Polynesian. So as we're leaving the Polynesian Grand Ceremonial House, the construction progress will start to come in view of the new Island Tower. And we do now know that they have 4 different styles of rooms in here. They have what's called a duo studio. They have a 1-bedroom villa, a 2-bedroom villa, and a 2-bedroom penthouse. And we know that it'll be opening sometime in December of 2024. And DVC members can make rental purchases starting on June 4th. Annual pass holders can start booking rooms on June 5th, and then all other guests can start booking rooms on June 6th for an opening of December of 2024. And from looking at permits, we have also found out that there will be a restaurant in there and some retail space. I wanted to kind of clarify a little bit about that June 4th date because I said DVC members can enter into a rental agreement to stay there. You're not allowed to use points just yet. So I thought that was an interesting choice by Disney because DVC members are getting the first reservations, but they're not allowed to use points to get them. The blog post said using points to stay at the Island Tower will come later. So I'm wondering why they chose to not allow people to use points right off the bat. Unless they're gonna say like, oh, people can use points even earlier than June 4th. But that hasn't been announced yet. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on that for sure. As we enter into the Magic Kingdom, up here on the train station, they do have some patriotic red, white, and blue bunting for Memorial Day. And the bunting theming continues on the backside of the train station all the way around, all down Main Street. I did also want to point out that these crepe myrtle trees are in full bloom. And they're looking very nice. Ooh. Hello to you, Mr. Train. So before we head further down Main Street, I'm gonna stop into the Emporium because they did just release the next round of Disney Eats merch, and it's all ice cream themed. We also have this year's Pride collection out here on display as soon as we walk in. I kind of like this baseball jersey. It's fun. So we kind of run the gambit over here of the things that they have already had, and then the newest one. This one's an ice cream sandwich. I like that it looks like mint chocolate chip inside of it. Looks very cool. I like that. And of course, these lounge flies are $88. As we get a little bit deeper into the Emporium, we're starting to see some merch for Memorial Day. Lots of patriotic stuff, including a lounge fly. This one is only $78 because it doesn't have the Mickey ears on it. But they do also have Loungefly Mickey ears that have the patriotic theme to them. And these are $45. A couple of Mickey shirts for $30. And they have a tie front kids shirt right here for $28. So I showed you guys the Loungefly that had the ice cream sandwich on the back of it. There are a few other pieces in that collection, and I asked them about them here in the Emporium, and they said that they've moved them back to Big Top. So we're gonna head back there and have a look at those in just a minute. So we're gonna get back to Storybook by way of Tomorrowland. So we're gonna turn right here just before we get to the hub. We're gonna head through Tomorrowland. So there is a service that PhotoPass offers where they will follow you around for a specific amount of time, and they'll take fun candid photos of you or pose photos like they're doing with this family right now. I've never seen PhotoPass taking photos here next to the bathrooms leading into Tomorrowland over top of these flowers with the castle in the background, but I feel like it'll be a great photo. All right, we've made it into Tomorrowland. It's looking awfully busy here in Tomorrowland, but we're headed over to Rocket Tower Plaza stage, and you can see they are adding some lighting elements and doing some painting around here because starting on August 9th, this will be open for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for the Descend Dance Party. And this year, the Descend Dance Party will be themed to the new Descendants movie that's coming out very soon on Disney Plus called Descendants Rise of the Red. So I would imagine these lights up here and all these different effects are gonna have a very red, ominous glow around this stage. Yeah, it looks nice. They're just doing like a quick refurb on this whole area with the stage and the booth back here too, and adding some of the lighting towers. It'll be very nice. I like it. It'll be like a big party back here. They said in the post, in the blog post, the Disney blog post, they said, this rave. So they're saying that this will be a rave back here. Lots and lots of fun lights happening and fog effects, I'm sure. I stopped by the DVC booth, which is just kind of right next to Tomorrowland Grand Prix. And I was checking to see what updates they've made it to the books. So far, all we've got is the cabins. The Polynesian doesn't have any update to it yet. They just have this one picture in here of the Polynesian bungalows. So we don't have the Island Tower featured in these books just yet. So we're making our way from Tomorrowland, a little quick stop in Fantasyland, and then into Storybook Circus. And so we've made it back to Storybook Circus, and the starting point for Smell-O-Fence on Parade, not as popular as it was on the day that we came and did it. We'll put a link to that video in the description down below, but I think its kind of charm has worn off with the general public. I don't know that this is something that's really gonna attract guests. It is just something nice to do when you know I've done everything at Magic Kingdom, really. All right, heading into Big Top Souvenirs. As soon as we walk in, they have a whole display of the Disney Eats stuff. So now we just gotta find the ice cream. So here it is. This line was released on May 14th. Oh, I like this, it's like flocked. Oh yeah, this is nice. It's the like actual graphics are very thick on it. And the shirt's not as thick. It is a thicker, like long sleeve shirt. It's not a sweater or anything like that. How much are Spirit jerseys these days? They never have a price on a Spirit jersey. Here's the sign for the Spirit jerseys. They are $80 a piece. And then the front just says established 1971. And it's got that same flocked style of graphic, but it is the D logo for Walt Disney World. They also have these Disney Eats ears. They do look like Loungefly ears, but they're not labeled as Loungefly ears. This is nice, very thick feeling here. Spongy on the top, and these are $40. And then the Loungefly, of course, is still here. And then they have a Starbucks tumbler. This is $30. And I do have to admit, we have found this style of tumbler at the outlets and also just on sale here at Magic Kingdom. I have one that's just black, and I paid $11 for it. So be aware that you can get it now for $30, or you can play the gamble and maybe get it for $11 if you're lucky. So they also have this Stitch Attack Snacks line here too, that also features different snacks. So this is interesting. So May is this little ice cream. So it doesn't quite match the Disney Eats collection over there, but it's similar. Like this is an ice cream, and that's an ice cream. That's a different style of ice cream. But they have Stitch and Angel, and they are $35 a piece. I like Stitch's eyes. He's like, yeah, this is the best. And then here's Angel down here. All right, so I came over to the snack area too to see if they had anything new. It looks like this is new right here, this chocolate cupcake with the red and the yellow on top. And this Mickey Mouse vanilla cupcake is also new. They're not anything specific for May or anything like that. These are just new items they have. I don't know what these are, but I kind of love this. It's so interesting looking. It just says, hey there. Let's see if we can figure out what it is. Okay, it's like a stationery set. Little sticky notes, a pencil sharpener, eraser, some pencils, a pen, a glue stick, a ruler with some stencils on it, a piece of paper, like a pad of paper, and then some markers down here. Or are these crayons? They're crayons, okay. And this is $25. All right, now we are leaving Storybook Circus and we're heading through Fantasyland because I kind of want to stop by Haunted Mansion. It's been a minute since I've ridden Haunted Mansion. Plus, they did announce some updates to the Haunted Mansion parlor, which is coming to the Disney Treasure, and it kind of has a few tie-ins in the actual Haunted Mansion. We'll see if we can see those tie-ins while we're riding it. So as we get a little bit deeper into Fantasyland, we're passing by the Friar's Nook, which is right next to Storybook Treats, which is an ice cream place. The Friar's Nook has brats and tots, but also starting on opening day, June 28th of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, they will be selling Tiana's beignets, which they don't have them right now, but they sound very delicious. And Disney describes her beignets as light, sweet, and fluffy, drizzled with honey and coated with powdered sugar. So, I don't know, I'm very excited for the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure and to get some more beignets. So those beignets will be available over at the Friar's Nook and down at Golden Oak Outpost, which is closer to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. The only problem is they'll only be available for a limited time. So we made it over to the Haunted Mansion. The reason that we came over here is because I wanted to talk to you about the Haunted Mansion parlor that's going on the Disney Treasure, Disney's newest cruise ship. The Disney Treasure will have what is called the Haunted Mansion parlor, and if you're familiar with the Wish, we believe that this Haunted Mansion parlor will be going where Hyperspace Lounge is on the Wish. It's a parlor, like a bar type experience, just off the main atrium on the new Disney Treasure that will be coming out in December of this year. Its first inaugural sailing is December of this year, and we did learn a few little fun facts and a few story bits about the Haunted Mansion parlor. So the first thing that we learned is that it is they call him the Jovial Captain, the Jovial Captain's parlor, and he has mysteriously disappeared. And so what happened was he spent his entire life captaining big ships, and his dream was to captain a luxury ocean liner. And towards the end of his career, we'll call it, because he's just missing. We don't know what actually happened to him because it is a mystery. So he did get to captain a luxury ocean liner at the end of his career, but that job was cut short because he mysteriously disappeared. He loved to invite people into his parlor and kind of share stories with them and share dinner and a meal and a drink with them and just have a good time with people on the ship and talk to them. But then one day he entered into his parlor and never came out. All that was found of him was his captain's hat floating in the fish tank, and that fish tank will be in the Haunted Mansion parlor, but it's a ghost fish tank. So I'm very excited to see what that looks like when we finally go on the Treasure. The other thing that is important to note is he wasn't the only one that went missing that day. Another person that went missing is the bride. And the bride has an interesting story too. So he was captaining this luxury ocean liner and he got a distress call one day. And because he is such a good person, he decided we need to go and help the person or the ship that is sending out this distress call. So they changed course immediately and went to go find where this distress call was coming from. And when they arrived, all they found was the wreckage of a ship and one person floating in the water. So they went and they rescued that person, and that person turned out to be his future bride or his betrothed, because he brought her on board and started taking care of her, and they quickly fell in love and were betrothed to be married. And the interesting thing about this person, this bride, is that she resembles one of the portraits here in the Haunted Mansion. If you're familiar, when you're riding the Haunted Mansion and they're about to take your picture, you just get on the ride, you just enter your dune buggy, you turn down a long hallway, and there's some lightning flashing outside, and there's some portraits on the wall, and every time that the lightning flashes, these portraits change. And there's one of a person relaxing on a chaise lounge, and every time the lightning flashes, they turn into a cat. This same style of portrait is going to be on the Treasure, but instead of turning into a cat, the person turns into a mermaid. And I thought that was very interesting. And so that is the other person that went missing that day in the parlor, was his bride. And we also found out that we are going to be getting a tiki mug that is themed to the bride. And then we also found out that there is going to be another tie-in to the Haunted Mansion. There is a character on a photo in the Haunted Mansion, or on a painting in the Haunted Mansion that looks, we like to call it the Gordon's Fisherman. It's a fisherman, he's a mariner. He's dressed in slicks, like slickers head to toe, like a yellow hat, and he has a harpoon. He's covered with seaweed, and like a sea star is on his chest. And that same portrait is featured in the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Treasure. So there is a tie-in between the Haunted Mansion parlor and the Haunted Mansion here with this same mariner character. And his story will be developed a little bit more. We don't know a lot about him yet, but we will get more as we get closer to the ship coming out, or even when we get on the ship. and he will also have a tiki mug that will be available for purchase in the Haunted Mansion parlor. And so just as an FYI, the Disney Treasures inaugural cruise is December 21st of this year. So it is a cruise, a 7-night cruise, so it will be going across Christmas. So those guys are gonna be getting an inaugural cruise and a Christmas cruise. Well, this is very exciting. Though I don't see any boats going down just yet. This is my first time seeing water running on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You can see this body of water right here that goes around Tom Sawyer Island. It's called the Rivers of America. We can see Chip and Dale are meeting right here on this dock, just off the Rivers of America. So we are passing by a Country Bear Jamboree, or Grizzly Hall here, and this show just recently closed on January 27th in order to make room for a new show, a new Country Bears show that will be opening summer of 2024. We don't have an exact date yet, but as you can see, they do have some signs out front that says, "Bear with us, we're rehearsing a brand new show." And Disney did just share a behind the scenes look at some of the costuming that they're doing for some of the audio animatronics, specifically Bunnies, Bubbles, and Beulah, who are they're like a set of like triplets that sing in harmony, and they will be donning a new like pink attire, a pink outfit that looks very cool and very bright. And they also mentioned in a blog post that there will be one familiar song that is returning to the new show here at Country Bears Jamboree. I did just want to read this one part word for word because I think it gives a little bit of light into what the new show will be about. It's going to be an Opry-style show that has Easter eggs from beginning to end, including a familiar tune fans may remember. Then it says the Bears will sing new reinterpreted Disney tunes in different genres of country music like bluegrass, pop country, Americana, rockabilly, and other styles. So I like that. I think it sounds really interesting and really fun to have Disney songs in different kind of country styles, and for it to be an Opry style show like you would see in Nashville. Like I said though, we do not have a reopening date for that. We do just know that it'll be summer 2024. Yeah, you can see the water is running on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Still no boats for us to see. I still have not seen them testing this ride yet. Also, I did want to mention that when we were all the way over on the other side of Rivers of America, we could see into there. You can see there's some bottles hanging from the ceiling up there, and that's very reminiscent of Mama Odie's house from the movie. And the bottles were shining and shimmering as we looked into this hole from across Rivers of America. Also, I don't think that my camera will reach into the darkness enough here underneath this bridge to see the armadillo that's underneath there. Yeah, I'll see if I can get this to brighten up underneath there, but pretty much Laurie the armadillo is underneath there, and they add a little umbrella to him because he's in the splash zone. I did want to report a bit of sad news. They did also announce that the Critter Co-op will not be opening at the same time as Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So Tiana's Bayou Adventure, June 28th, the Critter Co-op sometime after that. Well, this is very interesting. They changed the entrance and exit on the Frontierland Railroad Station. That used to be the exit over there. Now it's the entrance, and this was the entrance, and now it's the exit. Huh. Also, it should be noted that there is a sign here that is covered with scrim with a light on the top, and I believe that this will be probably advertising Tiana's Bayou Adventure, or telling you maybe some wayfinding where the bathrooms are, where the entrance to the railroad is, things like that. Because as we look a little bit further back, we can see a sign here that's still covered with black plastic. I'm assuming that'll be like the "you may get wet, this is the requirements for the ride." And then you've got the main entrance and the lightning lane entrance signs over here. I'm gonna head up to the top of the railroad station, see what we can see on the other side of the railroad station. I don't think I'm gonna ride the train right now, but I am gonna go up to the platform. Well, you can see there's a main entrance sign down there underneath where it says Tiana's Foods. We have a big group of probably leads maybe down there talking about what's happening on the other side of these fences. The train is now arriving, and I don't know that I've ever noticed this section. There's like a waiting area here in this train station with this potbelly stove, and it looks like there's actually a fire going on there. I know it's just a light bulb, but still, it's a neat effect. All scheduled trains are on time. One going to Tucson, Santa Fe, San Francisco, Red Bluff, and Big Thunder. I'll be taking the 12 train. I, for one, am on the lookout for B.H. Stevens trying to get this $1,000 reward. Could you imagine a $1,000 reward back in the day of the Wild West? There's a cage in here for baggage and freight. Look at all those chickens. There's a saddle back there, another chicken. It looks like they got out. Cardinal up here. Oh no, the chickens made it all the way to the top. Oh my gosh. Who left this cage open? Who let the chickens out? I like this little contraption that holds the phone too. Pretty neat, like that way you can talk on the phone elsewhere even if you don't have a table to set it down on or you don't want to hold it. Also, from this vantage point, we can get a really good look at the quote on the back of the water tower there. It says, "Never ever lose sight of what's really important." You can also almost see into the ride right here. And see, there is a log kind of sitting there waiting, so we know that we're not missing anything by being back here. They haven't started doing any testing yet. So just over here at the main entrance, we can see that the old Model T is still undercover. And then you guys might not be able to see it, but if I kind of move back and forth, you might be able to read the signage there. It says, "Attention, 50-foot plunge ahead. Be warned, it is an exciting ride." There's also another sign back there that says something garden. I can't quite make it out from here. I think it says children's garden. It's pretty fun. I wonder if that'll be an interactive element in the queue, you know, just like they have over at Winnie the Pooh or at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Maybe it will be. That'd be nice for them to add some interactive elements to the queue like that. We're also kind of thinking that this might be the Fast Pass entrance over here, the Lightning Lane entrance over here. So yeah, I think that's all that I can see from here. So I'm gonna head down back around front again. So I came underneath the train station to go, I need to go to the bathroom. The bathroom's back here, but I also wanted to point out that there is an area here underneath the train station. This used to be a playground area when this was Splash Mountain. Now, I'm wondering what it'll be. I don't know. We can't see back there. We can see that there are lights on back there, but other than that, I don't know what's happening back here. So it is the Wednesday, the week before Memorial Day weekend, so wait times are pretty high up there. Right now, 40 minutes for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It was 55 minutes for Haunted Mansion when we were over there too. I would imagine that they're gonna have the water running from now until opening because look at the color of this water. I feel like we need to clean that up a little bit, right? I feel like we are at the point where these construction walls are gonna come down very soon. Hey, how's it going? Because they're doing testing right now. We can see the majority of what's happening, and I think that they're done with all of the theming and construction work that they would be doing behind these walls. Now they're working more on the queue. But I can see there is still some scaffolding back here. So once that starts to come down, then these construction walls will come down. Unless that scaffolding is holding up these construction walls. You can see there will be a photo that happens on this ride. And it looks like they're testing the camera right now. You see the flash going off every once in a while up there on the side of the mountain, on the side of the hill. So with Tiana's Bayou Adventure right there, if we turn in this direction, we can see Golden Oak Outpost, and this is the other location that you'll be able to find Tiana's Beignets for a limited time starting the opening day of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, June 28th. As I was standing back by Golden Oak Outpost, I just noticed this sign here that says, "A celebration of family and friends of New Orleans at the proud home of Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. Everyone welcome." But it looks like, I like that. That kind of gives you an idea of the plot of the ride. After the big drop, then you head inside for the celebration. Because we do happen to know the plot of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You are on a search to try to find some ingredients for their big party that they're having, and you're going through the bayou trying to find these different ingredients, and you meet a fun cast of characters along the way, and maybe get into a little bit of trouble with a big drop after meeting Mama Odie. Just made our way into Adventureland, and something that I hadn't really noticed before was outside the gift shop for Pirates of the Caribbean, there's a bird in a cage. There's an animatronic parrot right here. Like every once in a while, it moves around. Amazing. Like, why is this here? It might have something to do with the interactive Pirates Adventure, and we've done a whole video on the Pirates Adventure. We'll put a link to that in the description down below. But yeah, this is part of the Pirates Adventure, and I think the animatronic bird might be part of that same experience. So directly across from the entrance of Pirates of the Caribbean is a restaurant called Tortuga Tavern. And we had some interesting news come out last year at Destination D23 in 2023. So Tortuga Tavern is currently a restaurant in Adventureland that is currently open. And they do have a peanut butter, chocolate hazelnut spread, and banana sandwich that is delicious. They also have these orange chicken strips and barbecue pork sandwich that are also delicious. There's Jack Sparrow. So at Destination D23 in 2023, they announced there are plans for a Pirates of the Caribbean themed lounge/restaurant coming to Adventureland. And they didn't share anything else about it aside from like a little bit of artwork, like a little bit of concept art here. And they said that the Barker bird would be back, which was a parrot that used to sit out in front of Pirates of the Caribbean and like try to entice people to come ride the ride. But since then, they haven't shared any updates from that. This restaurant was closed when they made that announcement. This restaurant has opened back up. This was the closest restaurant to Pirates of the Caribbean, unless they're like talking about expanding back here through this stage. But this is where Jack Sparrow will meet sometimes. During the Halloween party and the Christmas party, they have shows that happen here. So I don't know where this restaurant's going or any more information about it other than the fact that they announced it. So we'll definitely be keeping a lookout on this location and on all of the Disney news sources to try to figure out what is happening with the Pirates of the Caribbean themed lounge slash restaurant. Should also be mentioned that Pirates of the Caribbean is currently open and running, but they are doing some work on the exterior of it here. A little bit of refurbishment work. You can see it's behind scrim and behind walls back there. Fun way to cool off on a hot summer day just outside of Jungle Cruise. These guys right here are called the Leaky Tikis, and they'll spray water on you. There is an occasion where you might also unexpectedly be cooled off by this camel right here, spitting water. I haven't been doing it specifically, but it seems that every time I come to Magic Kingdom, Main Street PhilharMagic is playing. Also, Grayson's out here playing the piano again. So on my way past Casey's Corners, I thought, let's just open up the app and see if they have anything special happening right now. And boy, do they. A Chipotle pork foot-long hot dog. Look at that. Ooh, all right, let's get some napkins because we're gonna need them. Also, outside of Casey's, they have a complimentary water fill station. They say to please use the cups provided. Do not fill up your water bottles, but if you want to, you can fill up multiple cups and pour those into your water bottle. So this was $15.79. It did come with a side of French fries, but this is the Chipotle barbecue all beef foot-long hot dog topped with pulled pork, slaw, and Chipotle barbecue sauce. Oh my goodness, look at this thing, it's massive. I'm gonna spread the toppings out a little bit to kind of like make it cover the entire thing, but I don't know how anybody's gonna eat this thing. I might use a fork and knife. Somebody needs to create a contraption to hold hot dogs that have a ridiculous amount of toppings on them. Because like, what I end up doing is I end up trying to pull the bun out of this little like container a little bit and pull it forward so that I can eat it like this. But like, I know this is still gonna make a big mess. Let's give it a try though. Just hot dog. Normal Casey's hot dog right there. Let's get a little bit further in. It's an interesting grouping of flavors because the slaw has a tanginess to it. The barbecue has like a smoky flavor to it. So the two flavors together really are interesting and kind of play a fun game inside your mouth. And then you sort of do lose the flavor of the hot dog in all of the toppings. So you're pretty much getting kind of like a barbecue pork sandwich here with a hint of hot dog in there, which is wild to say because the hot dog itself like is very large and in charge, like included in all of this space here. Yeah, the tanginess really like overtakes everything. It might be the tanginess of the barbecue sauce, but I'm also getting a little bit of a hint of the smokiness of the barbecue sauce too. It's pretty good. I feel like I would definitely eat that again, but the coleslaw is kind of extra tangy compared to what you would normally get at Magic Kingdom. This is a different, like a more cabbage heavy, like full, huge, big chunks of cabbage too. So I feel like this isn't the typical coleslaw that you would find anywhere. This might be made specially for this particular hot dog. I would probably eat this again. It's like such an interesting flavor in my mouth and so unique to anything I've had. And I'm glad that Casey's is starting to do some interesting hot dogs here. I didn't see this anywhere announced in anything as far as like the Disney Parks blog or anything like that. I just happened to pull up Casey's menu and see they had a specialty hot dog, a featured hot dog right now. And this is it. Just trying my hardest to be so careful, but a piece of the coleslaw jumped off, landed on my shorts. So be wary, it is gonna be messy, no matter how careful you are trying to be. As you get a little bit further into the hot dog, Then you start to get some of the accents of the pulled pork, adds another layer to the flavor. It does also have a slight back of the throat kick to it. So it's not spicy, but like it's the vinegar and everything and the like a little bit of a hint of a spice from the chipotle in the back of the throat. So just be prepared for that too. I'm gonna go out and say this, like go out on a limb and say this. Just some unsolicited advice to the chefs at Casey's. Put some potato sticks on this. Give it a little bit of crunch from potato sticks. It'll really add to it, it'll be delicious. And we've made it back to the front of the park next to the crepe myrtle trees. And we are making our way out. Ooh, what a day today was. We went through so many different things, from Rocket Tower Plaza stage to merchandise to the Disney Treasure to Tiana's Bayou Adventure to Country Bear Jamboree, all the way down to a new hot dog. It was such an eventful day. So all in all, it was a fantastic day. And with that being said, we are off. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
I'm Maggie.
And I'm Jim.
We're from Massachusetts, and now it's time to pay the price.